We should not base everything we have on somebody saying that the world is going to end on this day, or on somebody saying anything. Do not trust man.
And I also agree with those that say prepare, but you got to be balanced. You don't want to isolate yourself from society, but you want to know those around you, and you want to be prepared. Things that I realize, and I encourage everybody, is to buy knowledge, be prepared, and know what you are going to face. Guns may not help you. Slingshots may be better for you, or a bow and arrow. Know what kind of food you need and stock it. My mother and dad had a pantry that we could have lived a year just on the stuff in the freezer alone, and then on the shelves it was enough to, I'm sure, last a year to a year and a half. So 2 or 3 years worth of food stuck in a pantry. And I bet you most people that I'm talking to right now couldn't last 3 weeks before they'd be out of food and water, and then have no other means to get it. If they had no money, they wouldn't know how to go out and get food or water. Do you know that? Do you know how to tell time with a stick? How to find your directions by planting a stick in the ground? I talked to Greg about that. Interesting thing with the sun and the stick. We'll have to bring up a program on that regarding survival techniques. Because there's going to be a time when you're not going to have electronics, phone, electricity, or any means to get electricity. All you're going to have is what you see around you and what you can make. So if you're not ready to do that, as the Boy Scouts and the Girl Scouts used to teach you how to live out in the wilds. That's what they were about. You haven't learned how to live yet, because living in this world today, you're dependent on everybody but who? Yourself. Have you ever wondered why? You need to think, because if you're not, you're in trouble.
I mean, the signs are there, but the signs have probably always been there, I think. I think the signs were probably there even when Christ was still walking around.
Well, he was the biggest sign that we were in the last days, because
You're
he
absolutely
came.
right, and that was 2,000 years ago. So
Yes.
we really don't know. And what does it really matter? Because when you think about it, is it really about knowing that date? If we make it about that date and that time, we're kind of losing focus, right?
Well, yes, because if you're knowing a date and a time, what are you focusing on? Dates and a time. But are you focusing on him? When he said, don't focus on that. Obviously not. So really, my stipulation, and I state this with all love for those who think they know, you don't. You got to look at Amos 5 on that, and you better read it carefully. But Amos 5 states that is not a day to be promoting or talking about. He does not look forward to the day, neither do we, who are his people. We look forward to salvation and proclaiming it. We don't look forward to the day in which humanity becomes extinct. That's a serious day, and it's not a day of rejoicing.
Why do people speculate on this? Why do they even go that far? I mean, what is the benefit of a Christian doing that? What do we gain from that? I mean, is it really possible to do it out of love?
In the appearance of, yes. They do not know what they are doing. And I state that very nicely.
Do you think most of them are sincere? Do you think they really?
Yes,
they really
I think they really believe what they are talking about. And they think that it's in the Word, written down by the Creator himself. They think they have found the inside track to the last day, and that they have been given special revelation by the Spirit to proclaim to everybody, this is it, this is it.
It's like hidden knowledge. Everybody wants this hidden knowledge. They want, all of this knowledge that nobody else has. But I mean, what God has given us, what Christ has given us, should be all the knowledge that we need. I mean, even that is hard to understand.
But not only that, he put a warning that says, do not
do
this.
Yeah. Do not.
It's not only that it's not there. He said the times and seasons are not put in your power to know. They are with my Father.
That he didn't know.
That's right. He said it's with my Father. In other words, he's waiting for the sign that he is to come. He's still waiting. He doesn't know.
But then people will point to Revelations, I think it is, where they say that you will know the signs you will know the signs. I don't know where it is, but somewhere in the New Testament it says that. I don't
But
know.
you
I don't
will
know if
see
it was,
when his time to
yeah,
come
something
is
like
near.
that. Yeah.
Yes, you will. But that's based on events happening and you reading it from the word and going, oh, there
But
it
you
is.
see that now, and you've probably seen that. I mean, you
I
could
see
say
a lot of it
plagues.
now.
Plagues. You saw that a long time ago. What, 400 or 500 years ago?
Well, maybe the first 3 trumpets have already sounded.
It's hard to say. I mean,
and
but
somebody
it's a
is
lot
teaching.
of speculation. Yeah, and it's just a lot of it's neither here nor there, because we're just guessing on these things, and we're trying to build up a following to our own view, instead of trying to build up a following towards Jesus Christ, towards our Father.
Well, that's the problem. Some people just want followers because they want to eat and they want a house and they want some land and they want to be comfortable.
But
Some
there's-
people are
but there's
fleecing
some-
the flock.
There's some people that already have that and then do this too.
And they're the ones who are spending their money. Those are the ones that are the believers.
They
Those
really
who are
want
making
to.
the money are the deceivers.
Yeah.
That's how I see it. It's pretty simple.
And we're just saying thoughts here. This is just our
And the
views.
thing about it is, if I've got to pay you to get information from the Word, well, yes, it says that the ox eats from the grain, from the grind. However, it doesn't mean you drive a Rolls Royce and you live in the most expensive house with 40 rooms and an air-conditioned dog house and a gold-plated bathtub with diamond-encrusted glasses. That is not the message. Those who preach prosperity, it's a lie. So, with apologies for those who appreciate the fact that maybe you've come to the truth under the prosperity preachers, but that's not the gospel of Yahushua HaMashiach, the Master. That is not his message, and that is not his way, and that is not the way of salvation. Because when the rich young ruler came to him, he said, oh, yeah, you got it all. Sell all that you have and give it to the poor, and then come, follow me. And the young man went away sad because he had many possessions. And he said, how hard it is for the rich to come into the kingdom of God. It is easier for a rope to go through an eye of a needle, or a camel through the eye of the needle, as they say. It's easier for that than a rich man, because a rich man is self-sufficient.
Yeah.
What does he need God for?
But then
I've got everything I need.
Every
except
poor
his
man,
soul.
every poor man wants to please Christ, so they think, okay, well then I'll just give everything that I have. I'll give that. 'Cause he wasn't talking about the poor man, but what I saw before, on, and after May 21st, 2001.
May 21st, what about that? What are you talking
That
about?
was when somebody said that the world was going to end.
Somebody predicted a day.
Somebody predicted an actual day that the world was going to
Well, he
end.
wasn't the first.
He wasn't the first, and I don't think he'll be the last.
No, there's many more.
But
The Mayan calendar says December 21st will be the last day, they think. And that's
Well,
another false prediction.
I don't even take that seriously. I don't even. The Mayan calendar, you might as well have written that. I might as well have written that. To me, the Mayan
What
calendar.
about the calendar of Greg?
Calendar?
Why don't you
Greg?
write one, the calendar of Greg?
Yeah.
And form a calendar based on times and seasons and see what you come up with as an end date.
My calendar would be completely blank. I wouldn't have a calendar.
There you go.
I wouldn't write a calendar. We don't need a calendar. Days, what are these days and these times and everything for but what God has given us? Man always wants to do what God has done. Man takes God's time zones and God's seasons and makes it his own.
Or covers
now,
it up.
And now we make laws to actually change those time zones.
Well,
to
you know what?
To go back, to
The
go
actual
forth, to
calendar and the way they measure time is different than we do today.
But don't you think that there was a reason? We don't need these time zones to. I mean, now in this world, yes, we do, because we're bound by these
We see
physical
that we
things.
have these things that measure precise time. And each time zone must fit the day and hour that it is in.
Right.
So therefore they make zones of time.
Right.
However, the farmer out there who's farming doesn't say, oh, it's 6:01. I
He
need to
looks
go.
at the sun. He looks at the weather. He looks at the ground.
He
looks
goes
at the
by
soil.
nature.
What you see.
How is the soil ready now? Is the soil right? Is the wind right? Is the moisture in the air right? Is the soil composition good, loamy? All of these things, science gets into it and says it must be this, 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 this. But there are some farmers that can go smell the soil, taste it, and go, yeah, it's ready.
Yeah.
Others, they have to get all the stuff. And not that it's wrong to do that.
No.
However, there are some that know nature enough to know how to do it. There are those that don't.
That's the whole thing. If you don't know that the devil is ultimately the one that we're fighting to stop or to slow down or just fighting against these evil things, the devil is the one that we are fighting.
What are the tools that he uses?
That he uses them all. He
Okay.
uses you. He uses
He uses
you.
lies, obscuring things, making it seem true, making it seem plausible, or the best pathway. It's got to be this way because he uses thinking processes. He uses the fleshly, worldly things. For example, if he wants to tempt you with a pretty girl, he doesn't just throw one at you. He wants to make it pleasing to you. So he wants to make her what you like, and with an intellect that you can engage, and that is involved in, oh wow, I'm into end times and truth too. And he'll package it prettily, and it fits in with your morals
Right.
and your ideas, but with one little twist. She wants you to, let's get a little closer and do this and check that. Draw you in subtly. That's the way he does. He draws you in with not things you don't know, but do know and work with, and he tries to work within that.
Right. And the only way to fight that is with God, is with Christ, is to read your Bible. Don't trust man. Don't trust what people are saying.
Don't trust us.
Don't trust my interpretation of the Bible or Walter's interpretation of the Bible.
Or
Don't
what we
trust-
say here.
Don't trust anybody.
Verify. Trust. Reagan
Trust
said it.
the word.
Trust the word. But when you're with people, trust. But verify.
Verify.
Know before you go. As I told him when I was training him, I did, and met him at the job. Go with what you know. If you don't know it, you can't go it.